If you're new here, we're Laura and Aaron, and a few years ago we converted our little wooden campervan on a really low budget, and we've been living and travelling in it ever since. We absolutely hate the chaos and stress of cities, so we only ever camp in the middle of nature, and we're currently wild camping around the Lake District in England. We're trying to soak up all the spring wildflowers before they disappear again. We're pretty mad about flowers, to be honest. It's definitely an unhealthy obsession, and in this episode we go searching for ancient bluebells. We temporarily disappeared from the internet for a few months. Such is life for hobbits like us, but it's good to be back, and we hope you like this new episode of us parking our little cabin on wheels out here on the Wildside. We're wild camping in the Lake District, which is our favourite place in England, right up in the north, just below Scotland. It's quite famous for all the writers and the artists who decided to live here, like Beatrix Potter, for example. She wrote all of her stories, like Peter Rabbit here, and Wordsworth wrote loads of poems inspired by the lakes too. It definitely seems like a theme throughout history that artists run away from the cities and seek out the quiet and wild places with mountains to hide beneath. They would romanticize the days before industrialization, when people lived simpler lives in the countryside. And that was back in the 1800s, when things were still pretty simple compared to how we all live now. And here we are 200 years later, a pair of artists running away to nature just like they did, romanticizing the days before ours in that never-ending cycle. You might notice quite a lot of sheep sounds in this video. There were just loads of sheep hiding behind these gorse bushes, and when we got the guitar out they just seemed to get louder and louder. It honestly felt like they were heckling us and trying to boo us to stop playing. We can't quite believe how warm it is just so suddenly. It just felt like winter was so long, and now it's just suddenly it feels like summer is here. It's not summer, but it feels like summer is here.
Yeah, we definitely feel like we notice the seasonal shifts a lot more in the van. There's just a bunch of little things that happen that we're like, it's definitely warmer, it's definitely colder. For example, we make our own deodorant, and right now we've realised that every morning it's melted, it's just mush.
It's supposed to be a solid.
Yeah, so it's obviously a lot harder to put on.
Probably because the normal houses are obviously, they regulate temperature quite a lot, people have aircon and people have heating. Just when it's sunny, it gets bloody warm in here, and
we have to have the doors open and everything.
Yeah. Otherwise we're just way too hot. It would be unbearable. I think we'd probably die.
Maybe.
And obviously with every season there's sort of the pros and cons living in a van, because it is so extreme because of the fact that you live in a metal box with the temperature. But lots of new things to look forward to, and I guess new problems to tackle as well.
When Luffy does that spinny dance, we know it's her saying, "Hey guys, it's about time we should get out on an adventure." So we hit the road, and today we're heading for this really special part of the Lake District that's known for its bluebells, although we are a bit late in the season and some of them have gone to seed, but it's better to see a few than none at all, I guess.
There is a place where I like to go to get away from all that I know. Free as a bird and safe as a mole, helps me to breathe, it is good for my soul. All that we built with our own design, ready to break in a dark demise. I can't escape but I have to try to get a grip of my worrying mind. There is a place where I like to go into the depths of the great unknown, scented by earthy and floral tones. Everything breathes and the energy flows. So much to do in such little time, leaves me with too many trees to climb. I can't escape but I have to try to get a grip of my worrying mind.
This part of England is still so nice and green, and there's like barely any signs of modern 21st century life here, and that's because it's been a really well protected area for so long. And Beatrix Potter was one of the main conservationists of this area, and she bought up thousands of acres of land in order to protect the landscape. And when she died, she donated all of that land, but she donated it on one condition. It was a very strange condition, which was to make sure that the Lake District would always have Herdwick sheep bred here. And that's the sheep that you can see here, and they're very special sheep because they're known for having these really smiley faces.
Most of the world's bluebells actually grow here in the UK, which makes us feel kind of lucky to be from here because it's one of our favourite flowers and it's probably like quite a rare phenomenon to see so many of them. We always try to take a little break on a walk and like get down on insect level to have a closer look at the plants around us, because I think otherwise you just tend to walk past all of these things that you see when you're further down, like these twirly shapes that the bracken makes before it's unfurled when it's only still a baby. It's time for dinner, so we're heading to a new wild camping spot tonight. It's like a little nook right on the edge of the lake and it's got really dreamy views, so we're pretty chuffed with this one. Usually when we picnic we can only really carry like a sandwich and our picnic mat, but since we're picnicking just a few metres away from the van this time, we could carry all the trimmings. So we've brought down like cushions and blankets and a book and Luffy's food, and we're just trying to make a really cosy little space here and get ourselves like really nice and comfortable. Aaron has made a stir fry and it's so tasty. I feel like when we used to make stir fries they just didn't taste like the real thing, but he's been adding in fermented black beans, and if you haven't tried that, definitely do. It just makes the flavour like so umami and salty, and it just really levels it up.
Scented by earthy and floral tones, everything breathes and the energy flows.
We were really tempted to go and get our mattress and bring it down to the water so that we could sleep out here, but we decided against it because there's quite a lot of midges in this part of England and we probably would have woken up with our faces completely bitten to shreds. Although we did have a really, really beautiful sunset. It was one of those where you're looking at it and you're thinking, this must be the peak. And then somehow it seems to get even better than it just was. Like there's suddenly like pink streaks coming through, or the clouds do something really magical. It was just so special, and it seemed to go on for hours. We stayed outside until the very last drop of colour had left the sky, and then we headed back to the van to settle down for another night parking on the Wildside.